Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's broadcast. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, click on that bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, you can join me most weekdays when I go live like this, or outside of the live stream, you can reach out to me through the Discord that we created. There's a link for that down in the description below. Also, if you're interested in getting some ideas of the meals and the food that we eat on our whole food plant-based diet, we created a Pinterest board. There's a link for that down in the description below. If anybody has any non-scale victories, I'd love to hear those. If you have any on-scale victories, it is weigh-in Wednesday. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing with your weight loss. If you're having trouble getting started or staying on track, maybe there's something we can help you with, let us know what's going on. And if you are getting back on track, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing to make staying on your diet easier than the alternative. Today, like I said, is weigh-in Wednesday. I'm going to switch over to that, and it's still not connecting. I'm not sure what's going on with my phone here. So let me see the best way to do this. I'm going to give it one more shot, and then if it doesn't work, I'll go a different direction. All right. So one more try. 3. And it's still not working. Okay. So, I was kind of expecting this not to work because it wasn't working when I was testing it beforehand. So let me switch over to this. So a bunch of people checking in saying hello. Carrie, hi. I hope you're doing great today. Aunt Dave's Kitchen, Linda McNamara, Anthony checking in, just me. Laura says that she's been off track for a while, but back starting today. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Our Tiny Acre says, hugs, beautiful people. Anthony saying hi all. Yes, I hope all you guys had a great evening and a wonderful day today. So just a quick recap. Today is day 599 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I started this challenge on November 1st of 2020. I had a starting weight of 519.8 pounds. Last week, after losing a couple pounds, I was at 304.8 pounds. The camera thing is not working today, which means that the thing I was just going to do isn't going to work either. I don't know why I thought this was going to be my backup plan. Let me see if this makes a difference, but I did hop on the scale here and I can show you guys. Let me see. Yeah, it's not working. So, I hopped on the scale before stream here, and my weight, I took a photo of it. Let me see if you guys can see it there. But my weight today was 304.2 pounds. So that means that I have lost 0.6 of a pound in the last 6 days. That's 1/10 of a pound each day. Because I weighed in last Thursday. I was a little bit nervous that I wouldn't do very good this week, and I did okay. 304.2, losing half a pound. I'm pretty happy with that weight loss for the day here. Linda's saying, yay, 599. I know, it's wild. Something that I haven't talked about maybe in a little bit, but that was the biggest part about me starting this challenge, was to stick with it for the 3 years. So many times in the past, I've done diets where, I've gone 7 days and then something caused me to fall off track, or I've gone a month and or even gone a few months and hit some mini goals, hit 40 pounds or 50 pounds lost. But I never was able to stay on a diet for the long haul, to go the whole way. You know, I would many times lose 50 pounds, or I would stay on that diet until that event happened. Oh, I got to lose weight because my brother's getting married. And so I stick to a diet, for that time. But then once that event happens, I lose the motivation and I just go back to my old ways. And so for me to be able to sit here and say that for 599 days, I have been focusing on my diet and making it a priority in my life is not something that I've ever been able to say my whole life. So it's just awesome. And I do encourage all of you to, start your own challenge, start your own, clock and say, okay, I'm going to stick with this and I'm going to do it until I reach my goal, or I'm going to do it as long as possible. I'm going to do it longer than I ever have before. Let's see. Anthony's saying, yay. Carrie saying, nice. Just me. Good for you. Thank you. Christine M. Thank you. Just me says, I've been gaining weight. I suck. You don't suck. You're just human. You're just living in this world that we all got put into, and we are surrounded by abundance. It's not our fault that we have all of this food accessible to us, because if we didn't have this high calorie, highly processed food available, it would be easy to be skinny, and it's really the world that we live in. And there's so much that we get exposed to with marketing and advertising that it's so hard to fight, and they spend millions and millions and millions of dollars to get you to break. It's an unfair fight between you and these corporations, because even though McDonald's is spending that millions of dollars to advertise across the country, they might as well just be spending that money to advertise directly to you, because it's what you see, and it's really hard to fight that system. And so I don't blame yourself completely. Just recognize that you're part of that environment, and you have to change, look at the things that you can change and change them and make it work for you. Randy says, yay, thanks for sharing your journey publicly. It's one thing to know what to do and what to eat, and it's another thing to learn how to change yourself into the person that would do it. Well, thank you. Yeah, it is, I've heard a saying before that, if you want to know about diet, go ask a fat person, or if you want to know about nutrition, go ask somebody that's overweight. Because I mean, I've really focused on educating myself since starting this channel, but I read books before starting this channel. The Fat Smash Diet, I can remember reading that. There was a book by Harvey Diamond. I think it was Fit for Life. And there was lots of different things that I would read, but putting it into practice and sticking to it are one thing, and having the knowledge is another. There's a lot of people that have the knowledge but still make the poor choices. And Lauren saying to just me, you don't suck, just start again, just, and don't beat yourself up over it, because you're not alone, and at least you're recognizing it, and you have the opportunity to take action. And Carrie says, yeah, you're here, and that's a step in the right direction. And that's, there's a lot that I thought I knew before starting this diet that I now really understand, that for me, the calorie density is a huge part of it, and the volume eating. And I always had that in the back of my head that if I could just eat less food. Why is it so tough to eat less food? And the reason it's so tough to eat less food is because we're not biologically engineered to eat less food. We're biologically engineered to eat as much volume as we have available to us. And when the food is this highly processed, high calorie density food, it's really tough to fight that. But if you can change your diet from eating foods that are 1,200 calories per pound, 1,500 calories per pound, and you can start eating foods that are 500 calories per pound or 300 calories per pound, you get to still have the satisfaction of eating the volume, but then you don't have the consequence of the weight gain, because if you eat 5 pounds of food that's 500 calories, you're at 2,500 calories. And that's about what most people's total daily energy expenditure is. If you eat that same 5 pounds of food, but the calorie density is 1,500 calories, then you're at what, 7,500 calories, something like that. Yeah. So it's just it's a bit of a numbers game, you know. And then also, when you not only change your calorie density to lower calorie dense foods, but you start eating a whole food plant-based diet, then those calories aren't as digestible in your system. So if you sit there and say, well, I ate, according to the label, I ate 500 calories worth of corn, then if you ate the 500 calories of corn, you don't absorb all 500 calories of that corn, because the wall, you know, the skin on that corn keeps your body from being able to absorb all of the calories. Whereas if you ate 500 calories of corn syrup, your body's going to digest all 500 calories. It's going to process all 500 calories because there's no fiber in the way. There's no, you know, cell walls and things like that in the way. The manufacturers have already removed those things. And so it makes it much easier for your body to digest. We got one of these things again. It's been a little bit since we've had that, and it looks like Carrie's taking care of it. So just keep your head up, keep working at it. Know that it's a really messed up world that we got born into. And as far as the food goes, our access to food, the availability of food, and then the fact that we live in a bit of a capitalist society also hurts us too, because a lot of times, if you look at the history of these companies and you look at some of the stories that I've read in like the book Salt, Sugar, Fat, these companies had good intentions at one time. You know, they said at one time, hey, you know, the example he talks about in that book is with the pudding and the Jell-O company, and they were trying to develop an instant pudding, and Jell-O had told their food engineers that they had to use real food ingredients to try to make pudding, make the process of making pudding faster and make it, easy for people to do. And they were continually running into not being able to get it done any faster than the process kind of already was. It would take you half a day to make pudding. And then one of their competitors published a patent on a new pudding product that was going to allow people to make pudding within 20 minutes. And once Jell-O saw that there was a potential that somebody was going to develop a product that was going to be faster than their product, and then they saw that they allowed this company to use chemicals and not just whole food products, Jell-O went to its engineers and said, hey, you know what? Gloves are off. Go ahead. Use anything you have to do to make that instant pudding faster. And right away, Jell-O was able to develop a pudding that was done in like 10 minutes. And the company that had applied for the initial patent, that company never released a Jell-O because or a pudding because Jell-O already had it beat right away. And so they had great intentions, but the second they saw that there was a chance that they were going to lose market share, they ended up removing the restrictions they put on their guys. And there's other examples, a lot of times with sugar, where a company would say, hey, in our cereal, guys, we can only have 14 grams of sugar per serving, and we can't go above that. And then another manufacturer comes out with a cereal that has 16 grams of sugar per serving, and the people, especially kids, start gravitating towards the sweeter cereal. Then the company says, well, why aren't we selling as much cereal as we used to? And their product guys say, well, this company came out with a competing cereal with 2 more grams of sugar. You're not allowing us to put any more than 14 grams in. And so they are getting that market because their product is sweeter. So then the manufacturer has to look at that and say, well, we have shareholders that we're responsible to. And if we lose market share, then we are hurting our shareholders. And if we don't make the decision to put 16 grams of sugar, or even one up them and put 17 grams of sugar in it, then we're not acting in the best interest of the shareholder. And that's what matters in a lot of this in the world right now, or in the business world right now. It has nothing. They do not care about the consumer of their product. They care about the shareholder of their company. And it really puts the consumer in an awful position, because you really hope that the companies would have your best interest in mind, but they don't. They have their shareholders' best interest in mind. And if it means that they have to make decisions that hurt you, they're going to make that decision, because if they don't make the shareholders happy, they lose their job, and them keeping their job is more important than your waistline. Let's see. Aunt Dave's Kitchen says you guys need to turn on your super chats. So there's 2 qualifications for super chats. You have to have 1,000 subscribers, which I have 1,000 subscribers, or I don't know about super chats, but I know to monetize the channel. You have to have 1,000 subscribers, but you also have to have 4,000 hours of watch time, which I don't have enough watch time, because most of my subscribers have been a lot of you guys came on. The last 500 of you guys came on since I was on Chef AJ's show about a month ago. So I need more watch time hours. So eventually I could get to that point. I didn't really do this to monetize it, though. I would, but yeah, I appreciate the sentiment, and it's nice. Let's see. Pretty Girl's Mom says, late again. No worries, Pretty Girl's Mom. I weighed in. I lost 0.6 of a pound. So I went from 304.8 to 304.2. It was a little bit shorter week than, because I weighed in on Thursday last week, and I'm happy to have lost the weight. You know what? I never ended up, I should check this again, because I didn't talk about food at all this week, or since yesterday, and I was going to talk about food. Let me see if this started working at all. Wait. Yeah, it is working. All right, let me get that going so I can talk about food I had, since I didn't eat a lot this morning. I did eat last night though, so it was let me see if I can find where we would have left off. So yesterday at 6:10 p.m. Yeah, okay. So now my camera's working. I could hop on the scale and weigh in if I wanted to. Let's see. Carrie says all about that money. Show me the money. It's a synonym. Okay. Yeah, I'll get the hours soon. Yep. And so really quick, I'll go over the food. I didn't talk about food since yesterday. One of the reasons I probably didn't lose as much weight as I could have is because of this sourdough. But yes, here is some sourdough I had with the, I kept calling it the wrong thing. It's garlic habanero, I think is what it's called. I don't think it's called spicy habanero, but it's from Primo. And it is a salt, oil, sugar-free mustard that we have been getting from that we order online. So that is the kind of one of the snacks that I had last night. If anybody, Carrie's deleting the chats there from them. And then last night, again, I talk about this every time we do it, but last night we had a salad. It looks so small in this bowl. I think I took 2 photos. It still doesn't look like that huge amount, but it's a large amount of salad that we had there. And every time that I have a salad, I have to kind of share what my mind goes through whenever Carrie says that we're going to have salad, because I feel like I've trained myself to hate the idea of eating salads over the 40 years that I've been alive. So anytime that Carrie says, hey, let's have salad for tonight, the first thing that pops into my head was like, oh, salad, that's so awful, you know? But then once we get the salad together, throw some dressing in there, and really the first bite that I take, I immediately realize that, oh yeah, this is really enjoyable, or this is not what I think of. Because in the past, also, I think a lot of our salads were just, romaine lettuce or iceberg lettuce and some carrot shreds, like if you go to a salad bar or you get a side salad from a restaurant. That's what I think about with salad. But in reality, the salads we make are usually a lot more complex than that. And we actually didn't put corn in the salad last night, but there's cucumber in there, there's carrot in there. And really, for whatever reason, the star of the salad last night was the onion that was in it. I don't know what it was about it, but every bite that I had that had some onion in it, it was just nice. And Carrie said the same thing. And it's funny to me to think about something like an onion being having a different flavor than another onion. Like a lot of times you think of fruit and vegetable as just being an apple tastes like an apple, or a banana tastes like a banana, or a carrot's going to taste like a carrot. And it wasn't until really starting this diet that I was able to see such a variety between one package of a vegetable or a fruit and another. And where I notice it the most is with oranges. We can buy a bag of oranges, or we can buy 2 bags of oranges next to each other at the grocery store. And one bag of oranges can be vastly different tasting than the bag of oranges right next to it. Or even within the same bag, sometimes you get some oranges that they just have a different flavor. You can just tell there's something different about that orange from the other orange, but it's still just an orange. Like, it's so weird to me to think of it having different flavor. And maybe it's because meat seems to be the same flavor no matter what, animal, like ham tastes like ham, and you don't get, there's not like a season for it, like with the oranges, I always feel like you can tell when you get an in-season orange versus an out-of-season orange. And it's probably more predominant with fruit than it is vegetables. But something like that onion yesterday, I think that onion had it had a better flavor to it. And it might have been that it was in season versus out of season. It could have been that it was more locally sourced than, onions before, or that it hadn't, it'd been processed quicker, than some onions. But it's just always weird to me to think that something like one onion can have a different flavor than the onion right next to it, because it just seems like it's an onion. Why would it make any difference? But something about that last night, it was better. It was better. Carrie said, or let's see. Colin says that they had a salad too. Our Tiny Acre said you put too much cilantro in your salad last night, or your last salad. Okay. Yeah, sometimes we've had, I think the thing that I've ever had too much of in there would be kale. Anytime we've put kale in there, it's tough to know. Colleen says that you have a chain there called Salad and Go. It's drive-through only and so cheap. Their tofu is the same cost as chicken, and they don't upcharge the extras. You pile on the corn and the avocado. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Just curious, Salad and Go, is that it's a chain, you said? I haven't heard of that before, but it would be nice to have more options that are plant-based around here, but it seems like all of our fast food restaurants revolve around chicken or beef. Let's see. Colleen says that you can never have too much cilantro. Let's see. I love cilantro, but there is a limit for you. Definitely a difference. It's incredible. The salads are $6.25, so that's not bad at all either to get a meal on the go, especially with the way fast food prices were when I was buying fast food. I imagine that the prices are up, when I started this challenge, I kind of recorded, or I did I logged or talked about how much food I was spending on fast food. And in a given month, I would spend on fast food over $420 for just myself. And that was just the fast food I was eating for breakfast and lunch. It wasn't, this is done. I don't need to have it up. Oh, I do want to have that up more because I have more food that I ate. The salad wasn't the last thing I had. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, just the food costs. That was a year and a half ago, and I'm pretty sure that food costs have gone up in the last couple of months. So that was the salad that I had there. Let me see. It's way behind. You just saw all my photos. So this was the salad. I am just getting bombarded with this. If anybody wants cheap sex dating, there is. I wonder if there's a way for me to permanently block them or what. Yeah, this is crazy. I can hit that button and see if it helps, but yeah, I'm getting bombarded with that today. Must have been something about the algorithm that the bots on my site. Well, that was a salad, and then I said we didn't have corn in the salad. Carrie had actually texted me during the day yesterday, and she said that, oh man, the corn I got today was the best ear of corn I've had all year. I hope that the rest of the bag is good, and it was. This was a really good. I had 2 ears of corn, and they were both really good. But I took a photo of the corn, really big kernels, and I love corn on the cob. I'm an Iowa boy. And that's our bread and butter up here, I guess, is corn on the cob. Or I guess corn. Most of that corn is made for feed, but yeah, I love me some corn on the cob. I guess I'll share the next couple photos. So I took a couple photos here because there's 2 more ears for me when I get home tonight, which is going to be late tonight. I got a lot going on. That's a picture of our dog there. This is what I spent my evening doing last night, was shaving all of that hair off of my dog. And that was just her body. I didn't even shave her head. I just shaved her body. I think I have a photo of it here. Yeah. So this is a photo of, this is gonna, I'm not wanting to show off everything. There you go. So that's a photo of her. I shaved her body off, got rid of her hair. So, our Tiny Acre says raw corn on the cob. I don't know if I've ever had raw corn on the cob. We usually, we take this is actually, we didn't start doing this until a couple months ago. But we, started microwaving our corn on the cob. I had always done it on a stove top, get a pot of water boiling and throw the corn on the cob in the boiling water to warm it up. And somebody recommended that you can just put it in the microwave for like 6 minutes, and it heats it up, and it's easy, and it tastes just as good as preparing it any other way. And so, but I've never had it raw. You're saying it's good raw though, like without cooking it? I guess, is that what you're saying? I haven't tried that, but it might be worth trying once. Colleen says, "Oh, hairy baby." Oh my gosh, she's got so much hair. And I knew that when we got her, she was going to be a hairy dog, and it was going to be a lot of maintenance. And so I, being the cheapskate that I am, I just went out and bought clippers, because I don't need she doesn't have to look perfect, I mean, I'm sure that all the other dogs make fun of her when they see her. "Did your dad cut your hair?" And she's like, "Yeah, my dad cut my hair." But the cost that I was getting for quotes of having to get the dog professionally groomed was ridiculous. And that's if the dog doesn't have mats, which is extremely tough to maintain as well. So, our Tiny Acre says, "Do you love getting fresh corn and just eating it raw?" Carrie says, "Yeah, we'll have to try that, because we get a bunch of, it'll probably be a month or so, maybe less than a month. We'll start seeing corn farm stands, is what we call it, that they just set up a canopy. There's a place about 2 miles down the road from us where they actually just put out a table, and it's an honor system. It's $5 or $7 for a dozen ears of corn. And you just throw the money in the box and grab the corn that you want. Or else there's all kinds of places around here that'll start selling sweet corn once it's grown and they're able to sell it. Let's see. Aunt Dave's Kitchen says it's also amazing in the air fryer. Yeah, we'll have to try that too. Giving us all kinds of recommendations. You said that your uncle got you eating it raw when you were in middle school. Yeah, I'd not ever heard of eating it raw, I guess. But might have to give it a shot, or at least, try it one time and see what we think of it. And then the only other thing, so I didn't take any photos of the mango that I was eating, but then for breakfast this morning, I had some of the dehydrated mango and some more of the sourdough with the garlic habanero mustard on it. So that was the food that I ate since yesterday. I have got to I got some things I have to do tonight, so I can't really stream very much longer. Now it says the streamer recommends. I do not recommend this. This is ridiculous. This is the most I've ever had that kind of bombard me in a day. I wish there was a way I could just block it permanently, but the best I can figure out is how to put it in timeout. So, but I am, my son is at Boy Scout camp, and they have a family night tonight. So I'm going to run out there and join them for family night and see what camp is like, and see, make sure that he's not, not suffering too horribly. It is a little bit difficult for him because he is probably the only vegan to have ever gone to Boy Scout camp at camp here, and he's doing his best to stick to the vegan diet. And I think he's been doing a good job, but I'm going to be bringing him a bunch of vegan chicken nuggets, and hopefully he can fill up his gut so that he can survive. He really only has one more day because we have to leave early because I won't be streaming on Friday because we're going out of town. And Carrie says, yeah, that Carrie's got to miss family night, but we pick him up tomorrow for a family camping trip that we're going to be doing this weekend. So we'll have plenty of time to get it out. Carrie says that he is a pretty hardcore vegan. Yeah, he's adopted it very well, and he is very conscious of what he eats. He always asks, and he never just assumes that anything's vegan without confirming it ahead of time. So he's really embraced it well, and it's awesome. So but I do have to get out of here because I have to get some things together, and I still have to travel out to where he's at. So thank you guys for checking out the broadcast, everybody for commenting and sharing your what's going on with you guys. I am excited to have lost the half a pound, and I'm looking forward to this next week. It's going to be a little difficult because we're going to be traveling, and so we have to make sure that we make some pretty conscious food choices. But I think that we'll do okay. Just lots of baked potatoes. Carrie says that she's pretty sure he would just starve if he wasn't certain if it was vegan. So yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live, and hit that thumbs up button. I will be live again tomorrow. If you guys have not started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's nothing coming up that's more important than your health. And nobody ever gets to their goal and says that they wish they would have waited. Everybody looks back and says they wish they would have started sooner. I'm the same way. Carrie says lots of purse potatoes this weekend. Yes, lots of purse potatoes. Get started, guys, though. Don't hesitate. And don't fall for the myths of moderation, the myth of moderate change, the idea that you can slowly make incremental changes until you finally reach that perfect diet. It's a false assumption. Many of us have tried doing it. You say, hey, I'm going to start eating healthy snacks, or I'm going to start eating this instead of, for breakfast, I'm going to eat, meal replacements for breakfast or something like that, or eat a salad before my dinner. And then it's, somehow I'm magically going to switch over to a healthier diet. Many times you do make those small changes, but before you actually implement the full plan and get to the actual diet that you're going to be eating, you give up, or something happens where you get sidelined. So don't fall for the myth of moderate change. Also, don't fall for the myth of moderate consumption, the idea that a little bit of something unhealthy is okay, or the idea that you can eat less of food and still be satisfied. It just isn't the way that our body is designed. If you, I talked about it earlier. I really believe that we are volume eaters. We are designed to eat a volume of food. And it wasn't until, I always knew that, like, I always thought, I wish I could eat less food, but I just can't help myself. I always have to have a full stomach. Well, if I would have known that I could, really focus on that calorie density, and foods like spinach and cucumbers and carrots and onions are full of flavors that I just don't realize because of all of the salt and the oil and the sugar that we put on this, or the rest of our diet, that it makes those food taste bland. And when you remove the salt, oil, and sugar, you really find out how wonderful actual whole natural foods taste. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thanks again. I will be live tomorrow. I appreciate all of you. So you have a wonderful evening.